So this is a quick walkthrough video of the bathhouse before it kind of gets covered by this bed right here. There's some rampant vines growing up, so I want to do a walkthrough at this point in its construction. Hasn't been worked on in several months just due to a number of factors, but I figure before it does get further we should kind of show where it's at. So this bed is new, this little raised rock bed here in front, and it's going crazy, and then there's a wire trellis up front, so pretty soon a lot of this will be obscured from camera view, but from the outside you can get a good look at the slip straw pallet walls. So these are basically pallets, some of which I had to customize to a certain size, but most of them were just as is, and then they're framed up between 4x4 posts, and the 4x4 posts are set into a cob bond beam right there on top of a stacked urbanite foundation. And then this thing here that you're looking at, that's actually the shower drain. I'm kind of calling it a biological drain for now, but I'll show you how that works once we get inside. The unit's not too big. It's like 9 feet deep by, depending on what part you're standing on, 10 to 12 feet wide. Kind of fun feature here. We've got see-through roof section over the shower cell, and fairly narrow doorway, so we can have a nice tight door, because ultimately the goal is to have a dry sauna in here. So I'll take you out the front too, look at it. That's the front there. We can look right through 2 lined up windows. So it's not terribly large, but I'm going to try and fit a lot in there. So let's pop up inside and check it out. Up through the doorway. Okay, so immediately to your left, this is the shower cell. These are just vertical panels of Tough Techs in between 4x4s. And let's see if I can back up here if you can see it enough. So basically you just walk right in through here. This is the front entrance to the shower. Then eventually there'll be another little Tough Techs tiny door there. Shower's not plumbed yet, but we're hanging our solar bag in there to shower. And then I think one of the most fun features is the gravel floor. So this floor is, if you check the pictures in the associated blog post of this video, is has basically a pond liner underneath it in a bowl shape. So I kind of laid a bunch of gravel, made a bowl, laid down a piece of pond liner that goes out and underneath these metal sheets to the outside that I showed you at the beginning. And then we pack gravel over the top of it to make it level. And so yeah, the water just drains right out through the floor and then drips out into our already existing graywater pit. And then stepping back, you'll see we have one stepping stone, very precariously balanced. But basically everything from this piece of wood over will all be kind of rocked up at the same height. And pretty much from where my hand is here straight to the back wall, that'll be walking stones, be one level higher than what I'm standing at right now. So you'll step up there and step back down slightly into the shower well. And then from about here all the way over to the corner, we're going to take a 6-foot stock tank, one of the 2-foot high, 2-foot wide galvanized stock tanks, and hopefully convert that into a bathtub. I figured it'd be a cheap way to get an awesome bathtub, one that's big enough and deep enough for someone as long as I am to lie down fully and float. So that would be awesome. So I'm going to step up onto the shower step. We've got 2 windows, both of them pop out and open up. A little gap up there at the top that we still need to cob in. And then looking this way, this pile of stones right here in the corner, that'll be cobbed up and be a sitting bench, place where you can get changed, towel off, etc. Right here in this kind of little angled section, that's where I'm hoping to put in a dry sauna, something that we'd probably feed from the outside using a batch rocket mass heater, so you could load it up, have it burn for like an hour. And then starting right here at this gap in the panels and moving this way would be the bathroom counter. So there'll be a mirror on this section right here, sink right in front of it, and I have this old offcut of redwood that kind of gently tapers in with a curve that should end right at the right edge of that window. Have some towel racks and such on that wall, and then hopefully we'll finish laying in all the floor pieces as well. I got to scrounge some more rock, and once I can justify it, buy some more gravel. But that's the project as it stands currently. Figured I'd at least document it now before it changes too much. That's the inside. There's the shower well, and of course the view outdoors, which ultimately the idea is that this whole trellis right here is just going to be a giant wall of green. There's going to be a brugmansia popping up here in a couple of months, so you kind of have a trellis of, or a big tunnel of vegetation to walk through to get out. And same thing here on the other side. The ultimate idea for the water too is that the bathtub and the sink are going to be plumbed out, and they're gonna basically both join into a shared line right here, and that's going to pop up right about at this point in this kind of little sunken area here. And moving this way are going to be a series of 3 different, I guess holding tanks, but I'm going to dig them out, rock them up the sides, lay in a pond liner, and they'll be each at slightly different heights. So this one will be a little bit higher, next one will be a little bit lower, next one will be a little bit lower, on all the way down here about 15 feet. And so it's going to be like a 3-stage kind of graywater treatment setup. So we'll have probably a rock-filled bed, have some just basic reeds and things like canna and stuff like that. The next one will be a little bit cleaner, maybe similar plants, maybe some other bog plants, a little more open water. We'll definitely want to try and grow some like giant leaf taro or something fun like that. So this will all be vegetation, and then by the end my goal is to have pretty clean water in the 3rd tank, and before that trips down to the edge, and eventually it'll water some other vegetation once it finally leaves, but something that hopefully we could grow some edible crops in, be they taro or kangkong or water chestnut or something like that. So that's the site of the graywater treatment. That'll also be part of the garden and hopefully a productive element at the same time. So that's the little bathhouse, shot with some beautiful but sometimes problematic morning light.